information. Thank you for staying with us. You're watching the Breaking News Show on CNN News 18 and I am Shriya Kundu, here to take you through all the top developments from across the nation and around the world over the next 60 minutes. And right at the top of this segment, we take you down to Karnataka, where we have some breaking information coming in from, wherein a senior citizen has stopped Chief Minister Siddaramaia's car and has demanded parking issue to be fixed. And a high drama has prevailed outside Chief Minister Siddaramaia's residence as a senior citizen living in the opposite house has blocked the CM's vehicle and demanded to put an end to the parking woes he and his family has faced. You can look at the visuals and what exactly played out. And the senior citizen Narottam, who lives opposite Siddaramaia's residence, expressed his anger. Well, so you saw the visuals of what played out right outside CM Siddaramaia's house, and the senior citizen Narottam has complained that people coming to meet the Chief Minister used to park their vehicles all over the place, making it quite difficult for him and his family to take out their own vehicles. Now, after listening to his neighbour about the parking issue, Siddaramaia has asked the security personnel to look into this matter and solve this parking issue. But a high-level drama has played out outside the Chief Minister's house. This is on Kumara Krupa Road. This is on his Kumara Krupa Road residence. And this happened yesterday morning. And the senior citizen who lives the opposite house blocked the CM's vehicle, did not let him go out before he could express his woes in front of him. He complained that vehicles of all these delegates or whoever would come to meet the Chief Minister, they would keep on blocking the road, preventing him and his family to take out their own vehicles. And this is the particular complaint that he had, and he came and argued with the security personnel, and then he argued with the police officials, and finally then after all of this played out, he was hell-bent on blocking Siddaramaia's vehicle itself. And then the windows were rolled down and the both had a conversation, and he'd said that he'd been requesting people to leave some space near his gate and park their vehicles so that they could also use the area, they could also access the area. But this is what played out, and nobody had been taking his complaints into consideration, so he was bound to do what he had. And we have Akshara joining us live on this broadcast. Akshara, well, this is what we are getting to do. We're showing our viewers what played out outside Chief Minister's residence. And what is the situation like right now, especially after the Chief Minister has heard his complaints and said that he will make his security personnel look into it?
Well, you see, the incident took place yesterday morning when this senior citizen was irritated by the fact that many vehicles who come to meet the Chief Minister park in front of his residence and do not even take out the vehicles, and it becomes very difficult for him to take out his vehicles, causing a parking issue there. So that's the reason why he went out and blocked the Chief Minister's vehicle and demanded the Chief Minister to ensure that this parking issue is resolved there. And he also said that it becomes very difficult for him to move his vehicle, take out his vehicle. So right now, yesterday itself, when Chief Minister spoke to him, he said that he spoke to the security personnel and said that he'll resolve the issue as soon as possible, and he has directed the officials to ensure that no such issue doesn't take place once again, and the parking issue is resolved near his residence.
Right. Also, he is a senior citizen who seems, from the visuals, it is very apparent how angry he is at this entire situation. And he's also mentioned that he had brought this up with the security personnel before. So why was no action taken back then he had first raised this issue in the first place?
Probably there could have been a gap in the communication as well. Yes, he rightly mentioned that this was brought to the notice of the security personnel, and he had complained multiple times to the people coming there and parking the vehicles as well, but still no action was taken. This was not brought to the notice of the Chief Minister. Probably that's the reason why no action was taken, and irritated with this fact, he directly goes and blocks the Chief Minister vehicles and demands that this needs to be taken care of, and all this particular parking of vehicles must be stopped. So right now the Chief Minister has ordered to ensure these security personnel to ensure that this problem will not repeat. So we'll have to wait and watch if all the vehicles are cleared, if the instructions of the Chief Minister are followed to ensure that this parking issue is resolved in front of his residence.
Right. And when we see these visuals, we see the dialogue that took place between the two parties. Could you throw some more light as to what exactly was talked about?
Oh, well, you see, as I mentioned earlier, no action was taken despite the fact that, multiple requests were made to the security personnel or the people parking the vehicles. The senior citizen comes out and speaks to the security personnel. The security personnel asks him to move out of the way, and later he speaks to the police officials there, and he waits his way through the security personnel and directly goes and blocks the Chief Minister's vehicle. And as you can see in the visuals, Chief Minister Siddaramaiah rolls down his a window, and that's when he complains that this has become a major problem for him, major issue for
Akshara,
him.
do continue being with us, but right now we have Congress's Sanket Yanagi joining us on the broadcast on this. Mr. Sanket Yanagi, a very good morning to you. This is the input that we have wherein a senior citizen blocked Chief Minister Siddaramaiah's vehicle yesterday, and he expressed his views about this particular, he expressed his woes about him not getting any space, any access to the parking area. What is your first reaction to this situation playing out?
Firstly, we regret to the inconvenience caused and we seek an apology of that gentleman. We are here to serve the people wherever the inconvenience is caused because of us, and we straightway seek an apology of the people. That's the first thing. Second thing, whenever there is a popular social leader is the Chief Minister, all the problem would happen. Because the people inflow is too much and it is sometimes not manageable. When the people are directly approaching the CM and CM is accessible to a common man, the people would always rush to the CM's residence to meet him. In that process, there is obvious that there is an inconvenience going to be caused to the people, but however, it is the duty of everyone who is in charge of the security and the management of all the traffic there to see that it should not cause any inconvenience to the general public. And the CM has taken note of this, and he was kind enough to instruct the concern to see that it should not be happening to others, because he is the one person who has even withdrawn and directed the commissioner to withdraw the jet security. And he is that kind of a person who is always in fear of the common man and the common man's inconveniences so that he can resolve as much as possible within the span of around 5 years. So we have taken note of this, and we would see that it should not be repeated at any cost.
Right, Mr. Yanagi. Also, like you just mentioned about the management of the traffic in front of the house of such a personality, of such a political personality, it is quite important to make sure that there is enough space for the civilians who are staying out there as well. So, would you say there is a sort of lapse that took place when it comes to the management? Firstly, because the traffic was not managed well, wherein a senior citizen had to face this kind of an issue, and secondly, where the senior citizen had flagged this off before as well. He has mentioned that he had flagged it off before as well, but his complaints went unattended and they weren't considered.
It is not that the traffic will not be addressed or the traffic management will not be done. But the problem is sometimes we cannot anticipate when the people would be rushing to the Chief Minister's residence. We will not have the taboo on that or the details of that. So all of a sudden the people rush. Some days they may immediately rush to the CM's residence whenever he is available. And some days he may not be available at residence. The people may not be so much. The population will not be there around his residence. Mass will not be there. So it is quite difficult whenever the CM is there. Such a population, huge population will be available near his residence. And there are chances of inconvenience. But we regret for that. I'm not saying we are justifying it. We regret for the inconvenience caused to anyone, but we would see that it should not be repeated, and it has been properly already instructed by the Chief Minister concerned.
Right, Mr. Yanagi. Thank you so much for joining us.